Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. This is Duplex Build to Rent. One of the things that I feel people don't understand very clearly is firewalls. I figured this out. It took me a few iterations to get to this point, but it's really gotten a lot easier. Let me explain to you. We're going to be talking about firewalls here in this video. We're going to be talking about what the next steps are and just really basic things for anyone who's a first time new builder to try to figure out this game. I'm telling you, it's a lot easier than you think it is. I am so glad that I switched over to new construction. Now I think back on my time, and I really wish I would have started in new construction many, many years ago. All right, so here we go. Let's talk firewalls. This thing here, I made a video recently about this, and if you guys remember, we had an issue because the sheetrock essentially was stopping right about here. See that? The sheetrock was stopping, and so I needed it to go all the way to the edge of the wall like that. And so we had the guys out there today, and so they were doing it, and this is basically what we asked them to do. You see how it's going all the way to the edge of the wall? It's exactly what we want. Big thumbs up. Now we're moving on forward to the other side. Now let me stop it right here. So cleanliness of a job site is something that's really important to me. It's super important to me because I really dislike it when things are just a complete mess. I don't want there to be a mess. I feel like it exacerbates, more uncleanliness, just sloppy work, slovenly labor. I just feel like it just promotes it, right? When you have like a garbage dump of a place. And so one of the other things is that the city drives by there all the time, so they're always checking out your spot, see, make sure that it's clean. But at the same time, you want to be the friendly neighbor. And if there was high winds, if this piece of Tyvek is like hanging out in this person's, yard or whatever, they're probably going to call the city and say, "Hey, man, that guy across the street, he's got a big mess over there. Please, can you go make sure that he picks up after himself?" So we don't want that, right? Which is why I highly, highly always recommend that you guys either have someone that you can pay just regular day labor or maybe hourly rate to go out there for 2 or 3 hours to just pick up all the trash, and they're going to be okay with it and put it inside the dumpster. Very, very good aspect of being a new builder. Or if you're just like, hey, you know what, I'm willing to learn, I have the time, and you just go out there and pick it up yourself. While you're doing that, please remove the headphones out of your head and look and pay attention to everything. You're going to find little inconsistencies. You're going to find little things that you are going to be important, that you're going to notice are going to be important for you to find out from the actual contractor who did it. So here's basically where we're at with the firewall. The firewall has to go all the way to the top. My recommendation for you guys is to find someone who works in apartments, does sheetrocks for like new construction apartments, because they're going to know exactly how to do this because they have to pass inspection. It's the same thing when it comes to a duplex. You see all this tape, all this float that's here. That's basically what needs to be done in apartments as well. And that's all the code requires for what we're trying to accomplish here. This sheetrock is the X-rated gypsum board, which just basically means it's fire-rated sheetrock. All the way to the very top. It's looking good, man. Let me tell you something. I think that a lot of people mistake, people mistake being new construction to like having to have like all this crazy expertise. I used to be afraid of the city inspectors until I realized that if I don't know anything whatsoever about new construction, the city inspectors are my helpers. They're going to be the referees inside of this deal. So, man, I'm telling you, if it's the first time that you're doing new construction, I highly recommend that you do it inside the city limits, because then you have the oversight of the city to make sure that the contractors are doing everything according to code or what needs to be done, instead of doing it outside the city limits and just kind of just setting yourself up for massive liability in the future. All right, guys, that is all I got for you today. Remember, the firewall is the expertise of someone that knows how to do this stuff. It's really, really basic. On one side, we have the fire-rated gypsum board, which is this stuff. We have insulation in the middle. It's a 2x6 wall. And then we have another piece of sheetrock on the exterior that's also fire-rated. All of it completely is tape and float, and it has to go all the way to the very, very top. I reiterate that because I want you to understand that, because you as the builder are going to have to go out there and sort of somewhat inspect it, okay, before the city inspector comes out there. Now, Go out there with the city inspector and have them tell you what they think about what's been good and what's not done so great. That's the way you're going to learn. All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Talk to you soon.